Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's going to be my last and final video, at least for a little while, and we'll be hitting upper body. Throughout this video, I'll be showing you different movements you can incorporate in your upper body workout. We'll be tackling shoulders, biceps, your back, and your chest. So just a reminder, these videos are for all levels. You can make it as easy as you'd like, as hard as you'd like. The most important thing is that you're having fun and staying fit. The first movement I'll be showing you guys is the shoulder press, my personal favorite. Not only does it work your shoulders, but a bit of your upper back as well. Before we start, I just want to emphasize the importance of strength training and weight training. Not only do your muscles benefit, but your bones do as well. While you're performing any lift, the stress placed on your bones will increase its density, reducing the likelihood of osteoporosis or any other bone disease. Now onto the shoulder press. This exercise can be performed many different ways. However, the one I'll be showing you guys is the seated shoulder press. I prefer the seated variation because I'm able to get more stability, thus permitting me to lift a heavier set of weights. We can go ahead and grab our bench, and if you don't have a bench, no worries, you can grab a chair as well. Once you're seated comfortably, you want to make sure that your feet are slightly out but not too stretched. You also want to make sure that you have a tight core. If you've seen my lower body video, you remember me mentioning that a lot. Having a tight core will not only increase your stability even more, but it'll also make sure that your shoulders are the main movers pushing up that weight. The key to pushing up these weights is to do it in a controlled manner. When your arms and your shoulders are placed at a 90-degree angle, this can cause extra tension on your rotator cuff, and it should not happen. Instead, you can place your arms at a 45 or 50-degree angle. This will prevent any injuries from happening. Now let's try it with some weights. So remember, arms at around 45-degree angle, my core is tight, and I'm pressing them up. If for whatever reason through the movement you find yourself arching your back, remember to really engage that core and really make sure it's tight. Then you can try again. And if you find it tight but you're still arching your back, it's possible that your weights are too heavy. Just drop them, grab something later, and do more reps. It's no biggie. While you're repping these out, make sure that your shoulders don't drop because you really want to keep your elbows no lower than your chest to look something like this. You also want to make sure at the top that your elbows aren't locking and staying completely straight. You want to make sure that that slight bend is still noticeable. So you're breathing out on the way up and in on the way down. Lastly, you want to make sure that at the top you're not clanking your weights. This will disrupt your posture and take the tension away from your grip. If you don't own any dumbbells, not to worry. Grab a backpack, stuff some books inside, and get to lifting. The second exercise we'll be going over are push-ups, another great one. We'll be going over wide push-ups that target more of your chest and narrow ones that target more of your triceps. We'll start with the wide push-ups. According to the Mayo Clinic, wide push-ups is beneficial for your core stability and enhances your balance and your posture. First, I'll demonstrate how to do a push-up, and then I'll explain the mechanics. So my initial position there, how I got there was putting myself in a plank position. So I'm setting up like this, but I'm keeping my hands slightly wider than my shoulders. Then you want to bend your elbow slowly till your chest touches the surface of the floor. Next, as you're going all the way up, really put the pressure in the palms of your hands to bring yourself back up. Lastly, you want to remember not to throw your body on the ground. Really engage that core to keep everything tight and keep a nice movement. Now that we went over the push-up, here are some key elements you should think about while executing the exercise. So first, we talked about engaging your core, but you also want to engage your quads and your glutes as well. This makes sure that you have an aligned neutral spine while doing your push-up. So quads are activated, glutes and core as well. So we have a neutral spine. If those are not activated, it's possible that your back can arch, and this can cause injury. If you're doing the exercise and you feel you have a tight core but you're still arching your back, or you just can't get back up, or maybe you have shoulder pain, try an incline. You can do an incline push-up to then work your way down to the floor. And if you don't have a surface like so, you can find a wall, a countertop, they're just as effective. Doing incline push-ups takes away some of the workload that your upper body is doing and sends half of it to your lower body. It tends to be easier because your weight is distributed evenly. If you can't do push-ups, just sit on the ground, keep doing incline, and you'll get there soon enough. Another thing you want to remember with your wide push-ups is that your elbows are not flared out. Your elbows aren't going wider. It's your hand placement that's a little wider. Meaning, while you're going down for your descent, your elbows aren't flared at a 90-degree angle, like so. They are at between a 30 and 50-degree angle, like this. Flaring your elbows can cause a lot of injuries that you'd want to avoid. Also, I don't know if you've realized in my push-ups, I'm breathing in on the way down and exhaling on the way up. This as well can help you get way more reps in to have a better success. Now on to tricep push-ups. So the beauty about push-ups is that everything I said applies to every push-up. For example, the breathe in, the core, the neutral spine, all that doesn't just go for wide push-ups, but for all of them. The only thing that changes in tricep push-ups is your arm placement. So in the wide push-up, our hands were a little further out. But now for the tricep push-ups, they're going to be directly under your shoulders. And you want to keep your arms almost glued to the side of your chest. The more narrow it is, the more triceps are working. Now here's a little side view. And the great thing about push-ups is you don't need any special equipment, you don't need a gym, you just need a comfy mat. As some of you may have seen from my previous videos, mind-muscle connection is super important. Whether you're advanced or not, in the gym, some athletes find it very difficult to activate their back muscles. Most of the time, that's because they can't see those muscles, so it's harder for them to wake them up. An exercise that can help with that are back rows. Bent over rows are a pull-in exercise that targets a lot of the big muscles in your back alongside your arms. So the initial position is you want to hinge similarly to the one you'll do when performing a deadlift. You will then extend your arms so the dumbbells are placed away from your body, and then pull them up to your torso. While performing the movement, you want to have that tight core and keep the neutral spine. You also want to make sure that your chest is up so you're not arching your back or rounding your shoulders. Although this is an upper body movement, you shouldn't disregard your lower body. You want to keep your knees bent between a 15 and 20-degree angle. If they are too bent, your hips will disengage and it will make it difficult for you to hold this position for a long duration of time. Let's grab our weights and try it out. So we have our hinge, dumbbells extended in front of us, and pulling up to our torso. And we see this bend, we want to make sure to not lock our knees like this, or else it'll limit the amount of weight we're able to use. Another common mistake is turning this back exercise into a bicep exercise. These two muscle groups do go hand in hand, however you want to feel it primarily in your back. While you're rowing, you want to pull the dumbbells into your abdominal region. If at the top, you're flexing your biceps like this, even in the slightest, that is no longer targeting your back, now it's your biceps. When you become more experienced in this exercise, you'll want to lift heavier weights. You must be aware to not simultaneously raise your hips while you're rowing. This will engage your lower back and shorten your range of motion. Instead, lock your torso in to maximize the benefits. Then again, if you don't have any weights, grab your bag full of books and row your heart out. Breathing out, breathing in. The last exercise I'll be showing you guys is a bicep curl. I like to incorporate these in my upper body workout, because let's face it, who doesn't like a nicely toned arm? Here's a bicep curl. You're going to want to keep your feet hip width apart, stand tall, keep your core engaged, your shoulders relaxed, and while you're bringing the dumbbells up, keep your wrists nice and stable and your palms facing outwards. Let's go through the movement one more time. As you can see here, I'm keeping the dumbbells close to my body and keeping the arms tucked in. This is crucial in order to isolate the bicep muscles. You also want to make sure that you're not going too fast and you're not swinging your body. This will not get you the results you're looking for. Concentrate on proper form rather than rapid execution. I'd like to dive deeper on the swinging aspect while you're performing a bicep curl. While you're swinging, that means you're using momentum to successfully complete a rep. Your hips are now hinging and your lower body is assisting you. Your shoulders are initiating the movement. Instead, try to grab a lighter weight to make sure your biceps are the only muscles helping you get that weight up. And if you don't have any weights, don't worry. If you have some cans or some heavy jars, you can use these as well. All that's missing is some safety precautions. So while you're performing the movement, if at any time you feel a burning sensation in your biceps or even your forearms, that's perfectly normal. But if it comes to the point where you feel pain in your wrist or even your elbows, stop and consult a personal trainer who can help you and give you some advice. This also goes out to all the exercises we performed here today. Your safety comes first. This concludes my upper body segment. I hope you all enjoyed it and hope it reminds you that you shouldn't neglect your upper body. Training your upper body is just as important as your lower body. I want to thank everyone for watching and supporting my channel. It means a lot to me. And remember, being strong is beautiful, beautiful for your mind and for your heart. Bye!